Stepping ashore on Mercer Island, my friend Mark and I were thrilled by our discovery. Both 13, we were keen to explore and plunder. Before us stretched acres of golden waist-high grass, dotted with fruit trees and thorny Himalayan blackberry bushes, as well as crumbling old buildings promising untold treasures. On this early summer 1970 day, we had paddled from Bellevue's Enitai Beach, passing under arches of the old East Channel Bridge. Just days earlier, on a dare, we had leapt from the span's deck, then muscling north to the grounds of evidently abandoned Luther Burbank Park. We did not know that we were repeating a journey in reverse made 66 years earlier. Just past midnight on a cold, wet November night in 1904, 13-year-olds William Kiger and Albert Cook, wearing only their skivvies and chained together with ankle manacles, cradled the shackles to stop them clanking. Labeled incorrigible bad boys, they were forging a second attempt to escape from Major Cicero Newell's industrial school, which had recently relocated to a dozen rural acres on Mercer Island's north shore. Kiger and Cook crept out of the recently built dormitory and down to the water's edge. Having earlier noted a neighbor's decrepit rowboat tied up nearby, the boys clambered in and pushed out into the channel. For hours they paddled, making little headway, the PI reported. Several times their frail little craft came near swamping, and one of the boys had to bail water to prevent it from going to the bottom. Soon after dawn, the boys, exhausted and all but unconscious, made land opposite the island on the east shore of the lake. Sympathetic Northern Pacific Beltline workers used hammers and chisels to cut off the boys' leg chains and wrap the pair in borrowed jackets. Newell, born in 1840, died in 1913, a Civil War veteran commended for bravery by President Lincoln himself and respected among the Sioux as an Indian agent, had arrived in Seattle in the early 1890s. With wife Emma, he founded the Boys and Girls Aid Society, sheltering homeless, neglected, and abused children. They garnered strong community support, including a Seattle school board eager for solutions to a growing problem. Early in the 20th century, however, Newell's increasingly punitive measures, including beatings and chaining, drew increased scrutiny and criticism. Following newspaper accounts and public outcry, Newell was quietly replaced as school principal in spring of 1905. William and Albert were not recaptured, according to the PI story. The boys, it said, were allowed to go on their way. Nothing has been seen of them since. William Kiger, however, became a Seattle truck driver with a large extended family until his death in 1962. No further record can be found of Albert Cook. In our first then photo, in the summer of 1904, more than 30 boys wearing sailors' whites stand at attention on the north end of today's Luther Burbank Park, where they sheltered in tents awaiting construction of the industrial school's first dormitory. Major Cicero Newell sits at far left, also dressed as a sailor. His wife Emma sits beside him. The school continued in various incarnations through the mid-1960s. Our second then photo is a portrait of the Major from 1863. He commanded the White Horse Company of Michigan's 3rd Cavalry. In our now photo, videography students from Bellevue's Hillside student community explore the concrete remains of the industrial school's practice dairy farm. In the foreground from left, Liam Wallace, James Doyle, and Ashton Westfall. Between 1970 and 1979, Hillside rented upper floors of the then Mercer Island Community Center's brick headquarters.